How's everybody? Fine? Yes, you're fine? Everybody?
Yes. A veces cuando un hombre y una mujer, escucho,
Yes, good.
un hombre y una mujer, o sea, cuando dos personas.
Well, okay. Silence the microphone, please. And let's begin. Okay, very quickly. Today, we are talking about the differences between do and make. You know, sometimes many people usually say that do and make are one of the most confusing verbs. And yes.
Miss, perdón que la interrumpa.
Yes, dear.
Me acaba de avisar Emanuel que no va a poder conectarse.
Ok. Déjame, entonces, de una vez lo marco para que ya nos quede aquí. Ok, thank you. Sí. ¿Quién? Ah, Mare. Ok, muy bien. Pues de hecho no entró, creo, la clase pasada porque no la tengo marcada aquí. Le voy a preguntar ahora. ¿Verdad que sí? Creo que sí no sabía. Sí, porque no la tengo yo aquí con asistencia y de hecho ya ven que repartí un extra point. Ella no tiene punto. Creo que Jimé Barreto no entró la clase pasada también.
Sí, no.
No sé si anda por aquí, ¿verdad que no, Jimé?
Sí, no, ayer no. Digo, la clase pasada.
Ajá. Igual Mariana Lizárraga, no la tengo aquí marcada. Marianita, ¿andas por ahí, Marianita?
Sí.
Ah, muy bien. Sí, ¿verdad? Estoy bien. La clase pasada no
Entré, estuve un rato, pero me sacó el Zoom.
¿No bueno, entonces te voy a...
Miss, a mí me pasó lo mismo. Yo estuve, no ves que hasta me preguntó y al final, casi al final me sacó el Zoom. Y quería entrar y decía error.
Ok. Muy bien, Moisés. Sí,
pero hasta
lo veo
participé.
Aquí. Ok. ¿Recuerdas si te di punto, Moisés?
No recuerdo, Miss, pero yo recuerdo que sí le dije bien.
Ok. Porque no te tengo un punto marcado aquí. A todos los demás, sí. Bueno, a todos los demás que estaban. Bueno, chicos, ahora pasamos lista y ahorita lo vemos, Moisés. Bueno, pasamos lista al ratito y mientras tanto vamos a ver rápidamente las diferencias entre do and make. Remember that the differences between do and make, they are very similar verbs, very confusing sometimes. Sometimes they are confusing because they have the same translation into Spanish, but they have a different application in English. So that is why many times, many people usually catalog them as confusing verbs. But they are not. I mean, once you already know and you distinguish, then it's piece of cake. Well, okay, let's begin with do. Many people say that we use do when we are referring to mental activities. And yes, it's true. If we are referring to mental activities, we use do. That is why we say do an exam, do the homework, do the homework, and probably do some research. Okay, in the end, we are referring to a mental activity. We can also say that we use do when we are referring to household activities. Those household activities, or usually known as chores, which is exactly the same, chores. Well, okay, those household chores are activities related to the house. In this case, if we say do the laundry, for example, do the garden, is also do the dishes, yes, do the ironing, do the drying up, do the washing up, etc., etc. Except if we say make the bed. In this particular case, it will be make, well, let me put it here on top, the bed. Well, this make the bed will be the only one household activity which will be transfer into make and not with do. In what other circumstances do we usually use do? Oh, well, when we have certain okay, do exercise. Oops, where am I putting? Okay, do exercise. I know that exercise is not a mental activity, but anyway, we usually say do exercise. We also say do with certain expressions, like for example, do your best or do my best. In this case, hacer tu mejor esfuerzo. Okay. Also, we say do in general, when we don't know what the other person is referring to, we usually say do. What are you doing there under the table? Because it's not clear to me what the person is doing. Okay, and then we usually say that when we use make, is because we are referring to manual activities. And yes, okay, maybe we are referring to manual activities, and that is why we use make.
Make a friends.
For example, I know that make friends is not a manual activity, but anyway, this is like when you say make children, well, it's the same. If we say
Make a cake.
okay, but in that case, we are talking about create, cook, compose, wait, sorry. If we say create, compose, there is another, right? Okay. Well, in this case, we will say make a cake. I would say that this is because it's related to the kitchen. Make coffee, make tea, make a cake, make dinner, make popcorn. Okay, maybe. Although we usually say do the cooking. Do the cooking. Both are right when we say make a song, make a poem, make make a make a letter. Well, make a phone call. Make a phone call. I know that these days, no, yes, it's applicable. Make a phone call. Yeah, anyway, even if we are using the cellular, we say make a phone call. What else? Make some progress. In some other circumstances, we say make an appointment, for example, with the doctor. An appointment. Make a trip. Make. Oh, well, remember that here in do, this is do the shopping. Do the shopping. And here, make a project. Make an invitation. When we need to make an invitation. When we need to make a reservation. This is also make reservation, etc. Well, and in some other circumstances, in some other phrases, it's also possible to use make. For example, if you say, make up your mind. Make up your mind in this case means take a decision. This is make up your mind. If you say make money, probably because it's create, generate, well, so we say make money. Actually, if you say, how much do you make a month? ¿Cuánto ganas al año? Al mes. How much? How much do you make a month? So this is what is your income. ¿Cuánto ganas al mes? We also say make when we say make up your mind. Make money. Let me see any other expression with make a trip. Make ends meet. Make ends meet. Ese es atar los cabos. No, eso ya es otra historia. Bueno, okay.
Miss,
Yes.
make a reservation.
Yes, of course. It's here, dear. Make a reservation.
Oh,
Mhm.
I don't see that.
Make. Well, no, that's okay. That's okay. Also, when you say make faces, have you ever seen, as you see, this have you ever seen those children who are sometimes naughty and then they are in front of a window and they are making faces? Like that is also make faces. Okay. This is like make face. Okay. Or
Make up?
Mhm. Makeup. In this case, reconcile, hacer las paces. So this is makeup, and also makeup, the other kind of makeup. Well, okay, so in general, of course that there are more expressions, but at least this is just the beginning, and this is for you to know this information. The rest, you will probably have to learn them by heart, so you will have to memorize. But okay, this is just the beginning. If you like, you can copy or you can get a screenshot or do something so you can keep this as a record, as information. Well, make time, make a question, make a report, etc. Well, okay. And then any questions?
No, teacher.
No? Well, and there are two different kinds of exercise that I will be probably using on the exam, in which in one of them, you will simply have to complete not complete, you will have to write in do or make. Okay, and then I will show you some sentences. I will show you some sentences like this, in which you will be simply inserting do or make. Got it? Shall we start?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Make noise. I look at that. Yeah, listen to the animal. Make noise. Well, okay, let us check. Do or make. Okay, well, that's enough, I think, with this. All right, let me give you 1 minute for you to analyze these expressions and tell me what would you use, do or make. That's all what you need to tell me, do or make.
In the chat, teacher?
Well, I will give you 1 minute, and then if you like, you can contribute with one answer. So let's say there on the chat, you can put letter C, let's suppose, and then you write. Yeah, but 1 minute, so everybody has the chance to copy or to analyze. Okay, ready. So we have 1 minute. Okay, thank you, Pau. Thank you, Elena. Thank you, Michelle. Thanks, I made some coffee. This is really good. Okay. Think about it, Joab. Think about it. Yes, Jose Eduardo, just make sure you eliminate A because it is not only one, it's in general. But yes, it's okay. Your perception is okay. Yes, Noemi, well done. Now, yes, Jose Eduardo. Was it difficult for you? Yes, Melissa. Well done. Yes, Carlos, definitely. Oh, I should have included one more. Yes. Okay. And there's a favor. Wait. Who put the favor? Carlos, favor, no. Fatima, yes, definitely. Moises, in J, yes, definitely. It's a beautiful expression. Okay, and then Roberto will give us all the answers. But letter F, Roberto, is wrong. And letter D is there on the chat, somebody put letter D.
I have the question because, for example, I know when you use the do is for things like you are doing, but you don't have anything to do for do the thing, and you use the make when you do something, but you use your, for example, you do something for this, for subject, this thing. I don't know. For this I have the question because I think I don't know.
I didn't get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we will be reviewing. No, that's okay. We will be reviewing them, and then specifically, then you will tell me the cases, right? Don't worry. But of course, that we will analyze them.
Okay. Then is the D and what more?
Let me see. Is E and D.
E and the D. Okay.
But also F. Also F is wrong. And then letter C is okay. Letter B is also wrong. But anyway, you will tell me your perception. Even if I say that is wrong, tell me your perception. Okay, let us check. And then let me see. Michelle, does your microphone work?
Yes, teacher.
All right. Could you please repeat the answers there on the chat for this for me? Thank you.
A is is make. Make a question. B, do a favor. 3, make D. D, do love. Do the cleaning.
Wait, do the cleaning.
Why cheese? Okay. Make a promise.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Do noise.
Well, okay, it will make noise.
Do nothing.
Okay.
Make lunch. My day. It could be make my day.
Right. Mm-hmm. And the last one?
And make a sentence.
Okay. Then let's leave it in blank. Okay. And then let us analyze. Make a question. Okay. Not exactly because it's manual, but okay, that is like, for example, when you say make a phone call, okay, so that is make a question too. But in favor, you will always say, I need to ask you, I need you to do me a favor. So this is do a favor. Make some tea and make love, not because they are manual activities, probably because they are referring to, well, in the case of tea, referring to the kitchen, make a sandwich, make a salad, make a cake, make tea, make coffee.
Sure. I have a doubt. In the number D, make love, also it could be do love, no? Because do is also an action, like love.
Yeah, it's true. But you always say make love. This is like make peace, make war. This is from the same family. Let me see where I put here. Make a sewing reservation. In this one, make peace, make love, and make war.
Okay.
The three of them are with make. This is like children. What would you say? Do or make children? And not because it's a manual activity. Sorry, I couldn't avoid it. Okay, but anyway, it will be, okay, let's do children. No, let's make children.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and then cleaning, do the cleaning. Fantastic. Okay, promise, like a reservation, like make a noise is the same. Like the expression, make my day, me haces el día, make my day. Do nothing, so the person is doing nothing. Also, for example, if you say make my day, but you say, for example, your love does well to me. And I know that it sounds like a contradiction, but that is the way it goes. When you say, for example, your love does good to me. And well, okay, that is the way it is not. It should be manual, not exactly mental, but that is the way you say it. So we say make love and make my day, but your love does good to me. It's like, it makes me feel good, because you can also say your love, for example. Your love makes me feel good. Your love makes me feel good, but it does good to me. Well, okay, and so makes me feel good. Okay, and then we have in sentence. Okay, I put this. Well, it is not an asterisk because both of them are okay. Do and make. This is like, your love does good to me and your love makes me feel good. The same has here is make a sentence or do a sentence. But let me tell you the difference. When you say make a sentence, is because the student is in the classroom writing the sentence. And this is when the person says, my student is making a sentence. And when the person is in prison, in jail, and is a convict, then you say the person is doing a sentence. Let's suppose the person is doing a 10-year sentence, let's suppose. So that means that the person is in prison, is a convict, and then he is doing a sentence, right? But if you say make a sentence, it's because the student is making a sentence in the classroom. Is that okay? Hello? Yes? Okay. Just in that case, in this make or do a sentence. Well, okay. So this would be one of the exercises referring to do or make. The other, I will show you the way the other verb will be, but I need to remove something. Is it okay if I remove this? May I?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Well, the other kind of exercise referring to the use of do and make will be like this one. Fill in the blanks using do or make into the correct form. And by the correct form, I mean if it's continuous, if it's simple, if it's in past, if it's past participle, etc., etc. Let me give you some examples. For example, okay, well, this is the other kind of exercise that I will be using on the exam. In this case, you will be completing the sentences using do or make, but the point is not only that you put do, make, make, do, make. No, in this case, you have to analyze and observe if the sentence is continuous or if the verb is in past or if it's with an auxiliary. So that is something that you have to analyze. It's the only one little secret here, analysis. Okay, there it is. So we will have 1 minute. 1 minute for us to analyze and write the answers. Could it be possible for anyone to write the answers? I mean, here I need 1 volunteer. And I say 1 volunteer because yesterday one of my students was writing the answers here on the exercise, and that was cool. And I says, well, okay, I can't do it, but maybe you can. So if anyone can do it, please be my guest and write the answers. No matter if they are wrong, we will make the correction. So does anybody want to take the initiative?
Can I try?
All right, please be my guest.
I have never.
Let me tell you that yesterday another student told me the secret. She told me, teacher, you know what? Where it says view options, she said, there is something annotate. Annotate. And then you go to text. Así me dijo. Que ahí donde dice view options, no sabe dónde diga aquí view options, me dijo, en view options, miss, hay un puntito que dice annotate, creo que sí, así lo anoté. No. Y luego a otro más dice, y dice texto, dice ahí le da. Porque hasta le dije, oye, qué bien, entonces pues sí, dice, y sus alumnos sí lo puede hacer, dice, y le dice que en View Options, pero no sé dónde diga aquí, View Options.
Aparece hasta arriba.
Ok.
Donde está el Zoom, que dice Zoom Meeting, ahí, a un lado aparece la opción.
Ok. ¿Será por Virtual Background? ¿Será por Video Settings?
Miss, creo que usted no lo puede ver porque usted está compartiendo.
Ok. Bueno, si alguien lo puede hacer, chicos, ayúdeme, no sea malito. Nos escribe las respuestas.
Así, ¿no? A ver. Ay, se me borró, perdón.
Yo creo que sí, porque fíjense que aquí a mí entre las opciones me dice deshabilitar annotation for others. Quiere decir que si yo deshabilito ese permiso, entonces ya nadie escribe. Pero yo nunca lo he deshabilitado. Aquí está, miren, disable annotation for others. Hi, names.
Y yo igual quise anotar y me lo borró.
¿En serio también? ¿Será porque yo me moví? No vi honestamente que alguien estuviera escribiendo aquí. No. ¿Será que si les comparto la pantalla sí puedan ustedes escribir?
Teacher, creo que lo que pasa
¿Sí?
es que estamos escribiendo sobre una foto, ¿no?
Pero fíjate que así lo hicieron ellos.
Es
Y
que
aquí,
algo que yo escribí se me puso como que se fue atrás de la foto. A ver, mueva tantito la foto.
ok. ¿Cómo, corazón? ¿Cómo la muevo? Ok.
No, o sea, me
No.
refiero como al cuadro de texto, ¿lo pueden mover? O sea, todo.
¿Así?
Ajá, creo que lo que escribimos creo que está abajo.
Ay, caray, ¿cómo atrás?
O sea, literal detrás de eso.
Ok. Pero fíjense que esta, por ejemplo, está escrita así como está esta de aquí que dice Don, así es como le escribió mi alumna.
Sí, nada más los que escribieron hay que borrarlo y ya podemos empezar a escribir, yo creo.
Bueno, a ver, por favor. Pues una sola que lo escriba, ¿no? Pau, ¿lo quieres escribir tú, por favor? ¿O
Sí.
quién? ¿Sí? Mil gracias. Bueno, mira, también ahí anda Fátima.
Bueno, pues ya que... O le ayudo. Hago
Bueno,
la
a ver.
derecha.
No, si quieres hazlo tú, ya. Para que no nos estemos confundiendo, pues ya hazlo tú.
Ok, nada más.
Bueno, y entonces que alguien lo ponga en el chat, alguien en el chat que nos ponga y la palabra. Nada más acuérdense que hay que transformarla. No se trata nada más de poner do, make, no. Tienen que fijarse en el sentido del enunciado para que vaya la respuesta.
Entonces voy poniendo los que van poniendo en el chat, ¿no?
Por favor, sí. ¿Alguien nos quiere leer la A, chicos? Para que su compañera ponga la respuesta.
Yo, a ver.
Ok.
I have never a trip to China.
Ok, but I have never, ¿qué?
I have never gone.
Made. Acuérdense que es make a trip y por lo tanto, como este es present perfect, algo que ya llevamos viendo, I have never made. Nos tiene que quedar el pasado participio.
Ay, no lo puedo borrar. O sea, con D, ¿no?
Con D.
Con D y N al final.
D-E, así es.
Voy. ¿Y cómo lo muevo? Ahí está. ¿Así?
Ahí está, excelente. ¿Por qué, chicos?
Miss no lleva N al final.
No. Nada más así. I have never made. ¿Por qué? Porque es el participio. Make, made, made. Acuérdense que de la lista de verbos, la tercera columna, esa es la que vamos a ocupar. B.
¿Sería did?
Ok, sí.
Sorry,
¿Quién lo quiera leer? Ajá.
Sorry, I did my best. On exam, but I failed.
All right. So I did my best. Hice mi mejor esfuerzo, but I failed. Sí. Right. You can't do that to me. No me puedes hacer eso a mí. Ok, D.
Did you make the reservation?
Uh-huh.
No, I didn't.
Very nice. Did you make? Remember that here, make is in present because the auxiliary is in past. Now in the answer, we say, no, I didn't, because we are using the auxiliary, not the verb. Los verbos no van incluidos en las respuestas, acuérdense, son solo los auxiliares. Y aunque mi verbo sea en la pregunta make, mi respuesta se tiene que adaptar al auxiliar. En este caso, didn't. Ok, very nice. Y
why is the car making that noise?
correct. Correct. Okay, any idea for letter F?
No.
What is fast, Miss?
Ah, I forgot to tell you. Okay, the expression, a big fuss, out of it es como, se las voy a poner en el chat porque a mí no me gusta ese tipo de vocabulario, sin embargo es inglés real y pues bueno, hay que usarlo, ¿no? Es así como que hacer un gran lío, pero hay una forma más coloquial de decirlo, pero no entra en mi vocabulario. Sin embargo, se las voy a poner en el chat porque la tienen que saber ustedes. Entonces, when people say he's making a big fuss.
Podría ser doing.
No, tiene que ser con make.
Ah, ya sé que es Miss. No, diré.
Ah,
Ya sé
ok.
que es.
Sí,
Empieza con D y termina con E. Solo digo eso.
Sí, eso, sí, porque yo no, muy bien, entonces yo Ava y póngala para todos porque yo no, ¿o quién? José Eduardo, ¿quién es?
Yo.
Ah, bueno, José Eduardo, entonces haznos el favor ahí de ponerla. Yeah, when you say he's making a big fuss, so he's making a big problem, but you know, in a colloquial expression, we don't say problem, we say something else. Okay. And then, bueno, ahí está. José Eduardo nos va a hacer el favor de poner la traducción del español. Ok, letter G.
Do.
Bueno, no. En este caso, en general sí sería do, pero en este caso en particular, cuando le dices, no, he's not gonna make it, no lo va a hacer, o sea, en el sentido de que no lo va a lograr. A llegar a algo o hacer algo, eso va a ser con make en este caso. Very nice. Next one. Anyone else who can read?
Sorry, teacher. Read what?
Wait here. This one.
Making some coffee.
Okay, simply make, because it's future, you know. I'll make.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you.
She make me smile.
All right. Remember that here it's got to be third person. So this is she makes me smile.
Who do the dishes last night?
But it's in past.
Did. Who did the dishes last night?
Right.
And the end is, what are you doing under the table?
Correct. Because when we are speaking in general and we don't know or we don't specify what is referring to, so it's better if we use do. Okay, well done. All of them are okay. Muy bien, así nos queda, chicos. Entonces, ya vieron los dos tipos de ejercicio. Uno en el que se pone nada más do and make, así sencillo, sin hacer nada más. Y en el otro en el que sí tenemos que transformar la palabra y hay que ponerla dependiendo del tiempo y del sentido del enunciado en el que vaya. ¿Preguntas hasta aquí?
No.
That's okay? All right. Well, remember that along with this, something that we were practicing last class was not only present perfect and also zero conditional. So this is when we go from present to present. But regarding the present perfect, oh yes, when we were practicing present perfect, remember that I told you that is necessary that in the questions, Sorry. Okay, remember that I told you that it was necessary on the questions that we use only the auxiliary and never the answer to address the question. So if we are simply answering the question, just make sure that what you are using is the auxiliary and not the verb, because the verb doesn't go in the question. Can I remove it?
Yes, teacher.
All right. Thank you. And there it is. Well, okay, and precisely because we were practicing the short answers with those questions, is that we definitely need to finish practicing present perfect. Remember that when we perfect, we were using the auxiliary depending on the person that we are using and the verb in past participle. And the verb in past participle. And we were practicing the questions. Remember, have you ever ridden on an elephant? And remember that here we have two simple answers. Yes, I have. No, I haven't. That's all. Or even if the question was, have you read a good book recently? The same story. So yes, I have. No, I haven't. But if in affirmative, for example, we talk about something that you have never done, we can say, I have never, let's suppose, told a lie in my life. Oh, okay. I have never told a lie in my life. It's possible that we use the negative of the present perfect using never, which is really terminal, or maybe the negative simple form. I haven't. Let's use people. People haven't gone to the cinema. And remember that here, the time expressions usually associated to present perfect can be for and since. No science, since. For example, people haven't gone to the cinema for nearly a year. Because if you remember well, this pandemic began in March last year, so we haven't gone to the cinema for nearly a year. If we don't want to use for, we can also use since. Let's suppose she has been an actress since she was 9 years old. 9 years old. And in this case, we're saying she has been an actress since. Why? Because she was 9 years old on a very specific date. If you don't want to use that date, you can also use a year. Let's suppose she has been an actress since 1999, let's suppose. If I say since 1990, well, I am also using the time expression regarding the exact day because for is more general. In the negative, I told you we can use never or maybe the negative form, as well as interrogative. Okay, have you ever? And then the past participle and the rest of the verb. Okay. Well, any questions?
No, teacher.
Remember that we began to practice this present perfect with the negative. I have never, and then I have never swum in Progreso, or I have never seen a shark, or I have never drunk tequila, etc., etc. Well, so now we have the question. Remember, have you ever? If you think that the activity is not, if the person is not familiar with the activity, so we say, have you ever? Because we don't know if the answer is yes or no. Actually, the answer here should be, yes, I have, no, I haven't. That should be the answer. No, I haven't, or yes, I have. Because we don't know the truth. We don't know if the person really has done the activity or not. And the other would be if we see that the person is familiar with the idea, with the context, in that case, I can use recently. Have you read a good book recently? Well, again, maybe yes, maybe not. So yes, I have, no, I haven't. But in that case, this recently involves probably 6 months, 3 weeks, etc., etc. Okay, so those are the 2 questions that we were practicing the class before. Right now, let us focus on this one. Have you, okay, even ever or recently? That is the question. So very quickly, I want you to create one question for me. One question that I promise answer using have you ever. I need 5 volunteers so they can put it. I'll think fast. Okay. Thank you, José Eduardo. Okay, Michelle. Just remember, in this case, Michelle, it will be, have you ever done?
Okay, teacher.
Done with the past participle. José Eduardo, ahí tienes un mensaje en el chat. Bueno, ese es of the records. Nada más es para el archivo. Bueno. Ok, muy bien. Entonces la pregunta es
for
para...
a point, teacher? Is for a point? Because I did a question in the chat. Could you read?
Yes, of course. I will read them. Okay, this is not exactly, Roberto, this time for a point, but I like to see your opinion there. Okay, so let me read the questions. Michelle, do you think you can read the question for me, please? Just remember, instead of make, you use done.
Teacher.
José Eduardo, past participle.
Which question, sorry?
Have you ever, the one that you put on the chat?
Yeah, have you ever done something illegal?
Legal? No, I haven't.
Good.
Definitely not. Okay, you should.
Yeah.
Okay, no, definitely not. Okay, I'll put the answer there. Remember that this is vocabulary for you. So this is when we are addressing questions. Okay, then, okay, Roberto, could you please read your question?
Have you ever smoked weed?
Not really, but I have smelled it. I put it there on the chat. I have smelled it. But smoked precisely? No, not, definitely not.
Okay, teacher.
All right.
You know, it will be legal in the future, maybe. And
yes.
It will be normal in the future.
Right. Who knows? Because it's already, right, Roberto, legal in the United States, I think.
Yeah, I feel if have control about the government, I feel it could be a good idea because they will pay impuestos.
Taxes.
Yeah, the government will have more money, and the narcos, it will change this term for business people, and I think it could be a good idea, maybe.
All right. Yeah. Okay, thank you for your opinion. And well, and then Jose Eduardo, your question, please, but using the past participle here, I put the verb. Oh, yes, yes. Okay, would you please? No, I haven't, but I have fought with a police officer. Does that count? Yeah, with a worker, no, but with a police officer, yes, I have fought. Okay, good point. Oh my God, Fatima, not really. I have, yes, but not to that point, not really. But yes, I have once in my life, and I remember that my father woke me up, offering me some coffee.
Oh my God, miss.
Yeah, but of course that I was not a child. Probably that is why my father understood the situation. And thank God it was my father, because if it had been my mother, forget it, Fatima, forget it. My mother.
How old are you?
Yeah.
Teacher, what is the question?
No, it's a secret between the teacher and me.
No, read the question, Fatima.
It's the same question that I asked you.
Okay. Yes, as I said, Fatima, fortunately it was my father. You see, it's because my father was always open-minded and my mom not exactly. So if my mom had known about this, she doesn't even know until now, but if she had known, forget it. She would have made a big fuss out of it. Yeah, definitely. Miss, but not my father. My father was more considerate.
How old was you?
Yes. Yeah, I was young, Roberto, not that young. I was not an adolescent. Probably that is why my father understood the situation.
How old, teacher?
And how old was I?
Yes.
I was probably 24 or 25. Yeah, I was in my 20s.
Okay.
Did you study at the university?
Yeah, and then, I also worked. Yes, I had already graduated, and then my father had never seen me in that situation, so he didn't say anything.
It's the same with you.
but he was so kind, because he woke me up offering me a cup of coffee, and then he said, "You must have a headache, dear." I was like,
taquitos, miss.
Yeah, this is what it was so funny, because I had never imagined my father offering me a black cup of coffee and says, "You must have a headache, dear." Pero él todo propio, él en su papel, mi vida.
Dígale a Roberto que le cuente su historia, teacher.
No. And the next day, a Powerade.
And next day, a Powerade. Well, okay, good point, Fatima. Thank you very much.
Tengo un punto ganado.
Ok, muy bien. Me acordaré de la pregunta cuando esté checando el examen final. Ok. Bueno, ya, listo, chicos. Si no, eso ya es the story of my life. Sí, ya. Punto. Well, okay. Questions up to now?
No, miss. No, teacher.
No questions? So far, so good. ¿Todos estamos bien hasta ahí? Well, okay. So just to end this up, remember, when we are using the past perfect, it's strictly necessary that we use the verb in past participle. Even if we don't notice, it's got to be the past participle form of the verb that we are using. Otherwise, the sentence will be wrong. So make sure you have it in mind. There it is. Well, and remember that the other thing that we practiced the class before was the zero conditional. Remember that the zero conditional is also one of those conditionals that we practiced. If, or maybe in case, and from present to present. Okay, that one. If it rains, you should take an umbrella. This one. If we don't want to use should, remember, well, it's also possible that we omit all this and then simply, if it rains, take an umbrella. Or maybe the other way around. For example, take an umbrella in case it rains. Well, this is for the zero conditional. Now, what happens when we are using the first conditional? Well, in the first conditional, again, we need two sentences. The only difference is that now we will be using one of the sentences in present, comma, and the other sentence will be in future. But future will. Going to is not invited to the party. Only will or maybe may. No more. Now, these two sentences for the first conditional, they will be if, and then the situation, and future, which is the result. Okay, so this is the same order they will have. If and the situation, but the situation is always in present, and the result, but the result will always be in future, never in going to, or may. If you don't want to use will, you can also use may. What is a negative form for will? Does anybody remember? Okay, which is want. And may, remember, may not. In this case, we don't have contracted. So it's got to be the simple form, may or may not. Okay. It's possible for us that we change the order, but not the structure. What do I mean by changing the structure? Okay, the order is the position. I can probably begin by the situation, connect, and then the condition. Well, it's also possible, but observe, the idea is the same. If we begin with if, the condition or the situation, and then the result, well, this time I will begin by the situation, if, and condition, or in this case, I'm just making a, wait, this is gonna be the result. The result, okay, if and the condition. And remember that the condition is the situation. So, it's possible for me to change the order. Yes, but not the structure. I mean, if I begin by the result, I have to continue with if and the situation. It's not possible that I begin with if and then I put the result. No, no way. If I begin by the result, it must be followed again. If I decide to begin with if, it must be followed by the condition, not by the result. Okay, well, so this first conditional then we'll talk about like the logical consequences too. For example, if you study hard, you will pass the exam. Okay, there it is. If you study hard, you will pass the exam. Or you will pass the exam if you study hard. So you see, the idea is the same, only the order changes, but not the structure. If is always with the condition. Look, if the result is independent. So the result is a different idea. Ready? Okay. Any questions? Of course that we are going to expand the information with this first conditional. The thing is that we had a few minutes left, and instead of explaining something else, I prefer introducing this, and then later on we will master and we will practice it. Pero claro que lo vamos a ver más al detalle, esto. ¿Listo? Muy bien. Chicos, ¿puedo remover la pantalla?
No, Miss, espere. Ahorita que termine de copiar.
Muy bien.
Please.
Sí, está bien.
Listo, gracias.
Ok, sí, de nada. Lo que pasa es que vamos a abrir el libro para que los últimos minutitos de la clase necesito explicar algo del libro. Y pero me quedaban otros minutitos más porque ustedes trabajaron más rápido que los otros chicos de hace rato. Entonces, pero también no me conviene adelantar mucho porque entonces se me desfasan. Así que por eso nada más vimos un pedacito, pero claro que ese future real lo vamos a expandir bien, lo suficiente. Para que lo podamos trabajar después. Well, let me share something with you. This one. Okay, remember that we have been working with suffixes like work, worker. If we say legal, legalize, or maybe teach, teacher, etc. Well, okay, from those transformation, we have something which is word building. And here we have 5 different words from the same story. Advertisement, advertising, advertise, ad, and advertiser. Well, remember, this is the ad, so this is a short form for advertisement. This is advertiser, is the person who does the action. This is advertising. This is a campaign, you know, like the situation. And then advertise is the verb, and advertisement is the like the sign, like not the action precisely, because the action will be this. This is like publicity, but this is like the publicity on the paper, like the picture there. Well, okay, these 5 words come from the same story. Advertisement, which in England, by the way, is advertisement. That is the way they pronounce it. Advertising, advertise, advertiser, and ad, which is a short form of this. Well, I just want you to observe the definitions here listed below, and let us try to match. For example, to tell the public about a product, a job, or a service is a verb. What do you think it is? Advertiser, advertisement, advertising, advertise, or ad?
Ad?
Not really. Which of these you think is the verb?
Oh.
This one?
No.
Is a person. Remember that when you have the verb and then you put an R, is a person.
Advertise. Without R. Without R.
This one. Advertise. This is the verb. And from this verb, remember, we have the person, advertising. And from the verb, we also have the situation, you know, and the action, let's say. Well, all right, so advertise, to tell the public. What about the noun? Short for the word advertisement. What is the short form? The person or company that advertises.
Advertiser.
Right, this one. Oops, sorry. Advertiser. Now, notice the picture or video telling people about the product. We have this and this. You know, the picture, the video. Well, this is going to be the campaign. This one is the advertisement. Is the picture, the video, the notice, el letrero, okay, advertisement. And now, yes, the activity of telling the public about the product. Okay, the action. Now, yes.
Oh, advertising.
Ahora sí. Yes. Well. Okay. Question. Advertising, as you can see, is commonly used, is a resource commonly used in marketing. And in marketing, also the use of a logo, it's important or essential because it helps promote the product, I suppose. I suppose that when people see a logo, they probably relate the brand or the product or, yeah, the brand or the product. And they're in their minds, there is a connection between the logo and the product. Do you really think that has an influence on people's mind? Do you really think that when people see a logo, they relate the logo and the product?
At the beginning, yes.
Okay. And then would you say that a logo, it's important? It's an important part of advertising?
Yes.
Would you say that a logo is important? Why, Roberto? Why do you think a logo might be important in advertising?
Because it's the face of the product, of the thing of your sale.
Okay, it could be.
Because it's the first thing of the people look of this.
Roberto? Okay, it could be the image that people have in their minds. Now, could it be that when you see people using the product, it may have an influence or it may persuade other people to buy the product? Do you think it's possible?
Yeah, teacher, like the influencers.
For example. Yeah. Do you really think that some people using some products may have certain influence on other people so they can buy, they can persuade the people to buy? Could it be?
Yes, because for example, if you look alert to somebody and he use some fun or some shoes, you like about the same product because you like the people or you like yeah
The way they look.
yeah.
Okay, could it be? Do you remember logo? Do you remember any famous logo? Not the brand. The brand is like the Coca-Cola, or the brand is the Kellogg's. No, the logo. Do you remember any, the symbol? Yes, Fatima, that's what. Well, okay, Fatima. Oh, she's gone. You leave. Muy bien, chicos. Rápidamente, antes de que Fátima dice aquí 80, voy a tratar de reducirla tantito. Necesito que les saquen un screenshot, sobre todo aquellos que no tengan el ticket de lectura. Esa va a ser su tareita, practicarla de lectura. Y el lunes que los vuelva a ver, les voy a screenshot, ahí donde dice A Lesson in Logos. ¿Listo, Fátima? Y ya te puedes retirar.
Listo, Miss.
Sí, claro. Sáquenle un screenshot, José Eduardo, aquí a esta lectura, que dice A Lesson in Logos, y la van a practicar en casa. Esa va a ser su única tareita. Sí, solo leerla. No le van a hacer absolutamente nada más que leerla. ¿Sí? Ah, claro, ya no tiene caso. Ahora, si tienes el libro y tienes el audio, pues está bien. Y si no, bueno, ok. Lo que pasa es que me quedan 2 minutitos nada más. Quería ponerles el audio, pero mientras empiecen a leer, la pueden leer. Con una vez que la leas al día, me conformo. De aquí al lunes que regresemos.
Miss, perdón, pero ahorita que nos dejó esto de tarea, me acordé de las actividades de lectura que nos iba a subir a la plataforma.
¿Ya están?
Todavía no las puedo ver. No sé si ya las subió o todavía no.
No las has podido ver, Michelle. Ya están en la plataforma, pero las puse en el lado de actividades y dice algo así como Reading Project. Chicos, ¿alguien ya las vio?
Me aparece la primera tarea y el online text.
Yo veo el que dice Macmillan Online Reading Test.
¿Nada más ese?
Sí.
Okay.
Sí, yo también.